Okay people, this is himself. Welcome to another Tekken 7 Marduk guide. In this video, we're going to look at his reversal. I'll be covering setups, properties and explaining why this tool is seriously important. Now if this is your first time here and you want to learn all about Marduk, hit that subscribe button. This is one of a number of videos I'm doing and I'm sure you'll learn something. But back to this video. Marduk's reversal is back 1+3 or back 2+4. This activates in 3 frames and lasts for another 5. What that means is that you can use it after moves that are -7 or less. Now like most generic reversals, this will handle punches and kicks, but what makes it different is that the damage you do doesn't scale. No matter what the move is, you always do 8 damage, which is not a lot. However, Marduk makes up for that in 2 ways. The first is that the reversal cannot be chickened. Once you have them, you have them. The other is that you're always going to mount. It doesn't matter which arm or leg you grab, Marduk is taking them down, and from there you potentially do another 40 damage. Sadly, it won't work against all moves. When there's no limb to catch, you just get hit. So stuff like elbows, knees, headbutts, they will all hit us if we try to reverse. Now with a tool like this, there's 2 ways to use it. The first is against strings. There's loads of strings in Tekken that have a high-mid mix-up, and often you have to guess, do you duck the high or do you punish the mid? With the reversal though, you don't have to worry. As long as you know the move is coming, you can reverse and kill the mix-up. The other way to use it is after our own moves. Like I said, the reversal activates in 3 frames, so we can do it after any move that's -7 on block. That way if they jab or do anything faster than 16 frames, we will reverse it. An example of this is what you've just seen. While standing 1-2 is -7 on block, so if someone retaliates, they get caught. The danger with this though is that the second hit is high, so good players will duck it. It's a similar story with F2-1. The second hit is -7, but it's also a high. A variant of this is DF4-2. Here the second hit is high, but it's -5, so anything up to 13 frames gets reversed. The important thing though is that this is our 13 frame punisher, and if we've messed up and they haven't ducked, then we still have a card to play. Another setup is F4. This is -8, but it forces them into crouch, and in this situation some people will use while standing 4, but if they do that, they get caught. Now those are one type of setup, but a better route is when you do a move that looks punishable. That way it tricks them into attacking, which is exactly what we want. A perfect example of this is up 4-3. Because this is a jumping move, people will think that they have frame advantage, but it's only -2, so jabs will get caught. It's a similar story with up back 1+2 and the stomp. Both of these are big slow moves and people will think that they're punishable, but the first is -6 and the second is -3, so again a reversal will work. You can also do it with tudo, which is only -4. However, my personal favourite is this, grounded 2. After the shoulder hits, it's a mix up between this and the low, and often people will eat the mid because the low goes into mount. But if they block the headbutt, it's -7, and the thing is, people will attack here. They think the 50-50 is over and it's their turn to attack, but the truth is we have 1 card left to play. Now in the future I will be covering mounted attacks including Oki, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Now if you thought blocked attacks were the only setup, think again. In Tekken 7 both generic throws can be broken with 1 or 2. Because of that, few people use them. What we can do though is use that to our advantage. If the generic throw lands, we get a damage, but if it's broken, which it probably will be, then we're at -6. So if you suspect an attack and go for the reversal, we can catch them. What we can also do is use this with the tackle. Up close, the frames are -4, and at a distance it's -8, so the reversal window is there. Now in theory, you could also do this with the command throws. They're -2 or -6. But the thing is, the break animation is short, so you don't have that much time to repair. But if you get a hard read, it's still possible. Now looking at the frame data, you can see why this reversal is important. So many of Marduk's moves are negative on block, and even when he's -2 to -5, he doesn't have the option to sidestep. he's just too big to evade anything. Because of that, he hardly gains momentum. Every time they block something, you've lost your turn, and people know this. So what they then do is pressure us. But with these reversals, we can kind of mitigate that. If we can make them think and throw them off their game, then it gives us a small advantage, one that we wouldn't normally have. Now if you want to learn more about Marduk, then hit that subscribe button. There's a whole load of videos coming and I'm sure you'll be interested. In the meantime, check out my Marduk playlist. This has all my videos so far and I guarantee you'll learn something.